Fat acceptance is wrong.
I'm about to get demonetized. Yep, you read that title right. This isn't clickbait. This isn't faked or exaggerated for views or shock factor. These are my real thoughts. And I'm not gonna water everything down on the off chance I get canceled for being fat phobic in the future. Cause I really mean this when I say fat people piss me off. And let me get one thing clear for you, blobs. It's not plus sized. It's not big boned. You are fat. And when I say fat, I don't mean a little overweight or like your average English bloke. Like, it's fine to have a little fluff around your belly because that doesn't affect me. And you don't gotta look like a chiseled Greek god all year round and be that guy at the party who doesn't have a slice of pizza because, ooh, I'm on a diet, bro. Like, shut your lame ass up. And more importantly, if your life isn't impacted by your weight, it's fine to be what you are. But when I say fat, I'm talking this, and most certainly this.
I am offended by the word fat. 3, 2, 1.
I wouldn't say most of these people are like that overweight though. I would say like, dude, there's a difference between fat phobia and trying to promote a healthy lifestyle, right? If you're like making fun of somebody for being fat, you're fat phobic, right? But if you're like, hey man, you're getting unhealthily large in like a respectable way, I don't think that's fat phobia, right? Because like you're trying to help them, right? I think that's the difference, and I think those lines kind of get merged on social media, where some people take you being helpful as being rude, when that's not the case.
I feel like in the past, fat has been such like a derogatory term, and like we've been so like ridiculed for the way we look. It's almost like I want to take that word back and make it a positive thing.
Well, I will say the discrepancy between fat and plus size, like, I think the way you use fat is whether or not it's offensive, right? If you're like, you're fucking fat, like, that's rude, right? But saying you have fat, right, is different, right? Because, like, somebody that is obese has fat, right? That's the definition of what is on you.
What? If being called out for being this fat offends you, instead of complaining, why not just lose the weight?
Ugh, my God, it's like, see, it's like that. Like, this guy just has a narrow-minded view of it, though, right? Like, I understand there's a lot of people on social media that are just in denial, but, like, saying, oh, just lose the weight is the same thing as saying, oh, you're just addicted to crack? Just stop doing crack. You fucking idiot. Just stop doing crack. Like, just, what? Oh, you're a junkie? Oh, you like heroin? Just stop doing it.
I bought it, my choice. Like, when you take up an entire aisle, it becomes my choice, too. I'll never wrap my head around this thought. How and why did you get so big? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Whoa.
How these people can actually live like this. I remember being fat, like, okay, I wasn't like fat, but I was like 5'4", 174 pounds at my biggest. You know, pretty hefty for my size.
That's not fucking fat. That's not fat.
And my ass got cooked in school and by my friends. And having lived as the fattest in the group at one point, it makes me so confused why people choose to live like this. No amount of Krispy Kremes is worth getting L plus ratio plus you're fat every time you try to roast somebody. It's just visually too. Like, every time I see these people outside on the streets or in a Walmart, bellies jiggling, thighs rumbling the earth's core, and I watch them as I waddle over at Mach -11 and beat my 90-year-old grandma with osteoporosis to the mobility scooter. And I just think to myself, why do you fat Michelin man built?
I will say, when it gets to the point where like you're incapable of walking around a grocery store, that's a triggering point for like needing help. People view being fat as like a choice, and in some ways it is, but in other ways it's an addiction, right? I mean, a lot of people also have like thyroid issues and stuff, and that might be why they gain a lot of weight. But like, if you're obese, you're an addict, just like somebody that's an alcoholic.
Like, there should be a weight limit on those things. Like, if the seat feels enough pressure, it just starts yelling at the rider. Come on, move fat so you're blocking the aisle. Jesus Christ, you're so slow. That grandma could crawl faster than this. Like, you guys can't even walk to get your candy and chips. You won't even attempt to at least burn off those calories? Whoa, but my knees hurt. I need my scooter. No, you need a calorie deficit. This is why I hate fat people. Especially you dwarf planets that post on social media about fat acceptance and other big ounce movements.
I disagree because
Dude, this guy's just being a dickhead. Am I wrong? I understand some of the points he's trying to make, but he's just being an asshole. Like, he's not even, it's not like he's just, oh, this is why I fucking hate fat people. Like he's just not, he's just being a dick.
I believe in society, especially in America, we have this idea that, oh yeah, all fat people ate themselves that way. That they just sit at home and they're lazy and they don't do anything and they ate themselves that way. But they don't take into account people who have a disease. They don't take into account people who work out and their body is just built that way.
You lazy fat
Oh my god. See, yo, this guy is such a fucking dickhead. I'm gonna have to butt in every 5 fucking seconds. Her point is valid in the sense of some people do have conditions where they can't control a lot of the weight that they gain, right? But that is a slim margin of the obese people in the United States, right? The majority of people that are overweight in the U.S. are just overweight, right? It's because of the food that we have. It's not just the people, right? The United States is a terrible place for eating healthy, right? We have a lower life expectancy straight up in part because all of our food is processed. All of our food has saturated fats. All of our food has trans fats, things that are really hard to burn off, right? And just also quick, easy food that's cheap, which is really unhealthy. But sitting there and saying that, oh, like, it's not taking into account this, like, yeah, that's true. But the majority of people that are overweight are just overweight because of the food that they're eating, not because of a specific condition.
Ass smeller. You planet. You clogged artery. You fat fuck. I do not want to see a single comment under this video about your external issues causing you to become 700 pounds. Or that fit people are fat phobic.
They're not 700 pounds. They're like 300.
For an overwhelming majority, not all, but a majority.
Nobody that's 700 pounds can walk.
Of you, y'all are fat because you're lazy. Truth is, you can't be asked to spend an hour in the gym every day. When you get home from work, you dive straight onto the couch after sitting down for 8 hours to unwind after a long day. Then say there's no time for the gym, all while stuffing chips down your face hole and getting takeout every day because you can't be asked to cook. But
snack culture in the U.S. is also a big thing. People don't eat meals anymore. In the United States, most people, like, how often do you guys snack? Like, all the time. Like, you guys are probably eating snacks right now. Like, the majority of the people watching this. Because it's just quicker. It's easier. It's more enjoyable. Right? Like, snacks make the most money, or are making more and more money comparatively to, like, other food areas in the United States every year. Right? Like, Uncrustables is, like, making an actual bag.
My depression. Eating is my comfort. Understand my pitch. Nah, I hear that, trust me. But I'd argue that you're depressed and unhappy because you don't work out or exercise. Because you hate what you see in the mirror. Because you're self-conscious. Because you can't see your 1-inch Punisher when you look down.
I see you.
Like, sure, life may be giving you a hard time, and I know your lard ass can just hear the cupcake tray calling your name. You know, promising happiness. But eating your sorrows away is like wrapping...
Dude, I honestly believe this guy doesn't believe what he's saying. I feel like he's being extreme to be extreme.
Your severed finger with a dirty cloth. Like, sure, you stop the bleeding for a little, but it's only going to cause more issues. I know it is way easier said than done, and some people, especially people who suffer with legit mental health or eating disorders, find it hard to commit and discipline themselves through discomfort, but there's no way around it. Like, it's literally...
How do you become obese? How can you even eat that much? It's really not hard. The difference between people that are obese and people that are not is the caloric density of the foods that they're eating most of the time. Like, if me and a guy that's 4 times my weight both eat 3 meals and 5 snacks a day, I'm eating things that are heavy, but not calorically heavy, right? Like, gaining weight really fast, dude, just eat cake or, like, pastries or, like, any... Like, if you're able to just sit down and eat 1 or half a cake a day, you'll gain 30 pounds in a month, right? And that's easy. Eating, like, slices of cake or snacks or dessert-esque things. Like, things that have a lot of sugar or salt. Because they are a lot of calories, right? but they're small.
It should be
Liquid
the-
calories are the worst way that people gain weight because they don't even recognize it, right? You're just having a soda and you're not mentally recognizing that you're drinking something that is the equivalent of eating like a meal.
First thing you turn to when in a rut. It ain't easy, but there's no magic formula to weight loss or some cheat code to beat your problems. It's all about just ponying up and doing it. If anything, exercise is the cheat code. You know, go get a
Exercise isn't the cheat code. 95% of losing or gaining weight is diet. You don't need a trainer. You don't need anything. You don't need any of that bullshit. It helps, right? But if you want to lose weight, eating right is the only thing that you have to do, in my opinion. I know some people are going to say I'm wrong, but
acceptance movements. There are these blobs, these nuclear war bunkers, these lazy fat asses that would rather just force and gaslight the world into accepting their Great Wall of China looking asses because they can't be bothered to put in the work into their appearance. Big is beautiful. You can't handle all this. I don't want to handle all that. Like, if you don't care for weight loss and are genuinely happy with yourselves and not just telling yourself that you are, I really couldn't care less if you're fat or not. Just don't let it affect my life because I should not have to feel like Indiana Jones at Walmart because your big ass comes tumbling down the aisle in your little...
It's not affecting your life though, dude. He's acting like it's such a hindrance when somebody in a mobility scooter walks by you in a fucking Walmart. Literally, a mobility scooter is approaching me. Like, when I see somebody in a mobility scooter at a Walmart, I'm not like, ugh. You're wasting my day. Like, I just walk by them.
A majority of people who are fat are not happy with themselves, but will do everything but exercise.
Because eating is a form of coping. And when you're unhappy with how you look and you want to cope, you then eat more, which in turn makes you more unhappy with how you look, and then you eat more. It's a cyclical addiction. Fuck. Yes. Skinny people get more privileges, yes.
Oh, wait. I'm like, the wrong way.
It's not their fault, but it's true. Yeah, riding rides at a fucking Six Flags. Yeah, there's an example. Boom, right there.
Ooh, this really, like... Ooh, this section...
My God, yo, this guy, like, honestly just has a hatred towards fat people. Like, this is insane.
Chris Brown, or anyone from that matter, any singer, anything, would want you doing the thug shake behind them while they sing about sex. That's gotta be the least arousing thing known to man. And speaking of the fact that sex sells, you don't know what really grinds my gears? Plus-sized No, who am I kidding? Fat models! This gaslighting agenda PC culture is trying to push has gone too far now. Because this defeats the whole purpose of a model. Because again, sex sells. And you know this because you acknowledged it too.
Me, since I am a dancer, it is the most annoying thing. Like, I go to auditions and I'm the only like plus size person there. And literally, if you go to a concert and see an artist, you will like never see someone that looks like me dancing back up for like Chris Brown. All they care about is, oh, sex sells and, plus size isn't sexy, which...
The general response I would have to that is, yeah, that is an issue, that people kind of, like, discriminate on that, but it's also their thing, like, it's their concert, and general attraction for the public is based off of people that are best suited for survival animalistically, right? People like muscular women, not all women, right? But in general, being muscular is an attractive thing because that makes you better suitable for having kids, right? It's an animal thing that's in your brain because we're animals, right? And you can't get rid of that, in that you look at someone and if they look healthy, you're more attracted to them because they are better suited to bear children.
The denial, bro. Models, dancers, any profession that is meant to be good looking and in shape adhere to our beauty standards because their value is their looks and how they maintain themselves. It's a mandatory part of the job. Sure, it's a shallow one, but that's just how the game goes. And keeping your figure and face in check shouldn't be easy, nor should the profession, otherwise everyone would be a model. And your Bob from Monsters vs. Alien looking ass is not beautiful. Like, you can scream until you're blue in the face that big is beautiful and the modern standards of beauty are unattainable and toxic. With side note, I get body dysmorphia and facial dysmorphia is a valid insecurity.
And what is this? Like, why is it cutting to just this stick figure that he drew with like a just slumped in a chair?
To accept my fatness. I fully understand that even if you go into the gym every day and stick to a calorie deficit, there's still a good chance that you won't look exactly like the models you see on Instagram or, on the runway, the ones with the top 1% genetics, but you still look great. And realizing this and acknowledging that is actual body positivity, caring for yourself whilst also accepting your flaws. And these people gotta understand that fat is not one of these uncontrollable flaws. It's not on the level of stretch marks or scarring or hip dips or anything like that.
It's still a flaw nevertheless, though, right? I feel like, again, he's being narrow-minded in that body positivity isn't necessarily saying being obese is okay, right? Body positivity is saying I should strive to be healthy, but the way I look is the way I look. Yes, I can improve on this, but I shouldn't be ashamed of how I am.
Because body fat in most cases is self-inflicted damage. It's not this unchangeable aspect of your body that people will call you brave for exposing. All they want to say is, cover up, please. God damn, Melvin, put the belly rolls away. God damn. Body fat is
this really reminds me of when we used to react to Sneeko. Anybody remember when we used to react to like Tate and Sneeko like a year and a half ago? And I would just butt in like every 5 seconds.
Sign of a lack of respect for yourself. It's also a sign of a lack of self-discipline and laziness, disease or not. And it for damn sure ain't pretty. And one more thing. What is it with you globular clusters throwing around the term fat phobic whenever people want to call you out for taking up the whole walkway at Walmart?
If you work out because you want your body to look a certain way, you don't care about health, you are fat phobic.
That's stupid. That's the issue, though, is there's people on social media like that, and then that skews everybody's mind of what body positivity and fat phobia really is, right? Because that was just actual fucking idiocy. Like, going to the gym to look better means you're fat phobic. No, it means I would also say going to the gym and making your body look how you want it to look is a form of art. Bodybuilding is a form of art, in my opinion. Max Taylor is an artist, right? He goes to the gym and he has a regimented schedule to change how his body looks to be appeasable to an audience and judges, right? On a normal level, going to the gym and losing weight to get your body to look how you want it to look is an art.
If anything, the fact that you get so insecure over people wanting to not be fat like you is proof that you know that big really isn't beautiful. It's a lie you told yourself to justify being unattractive. Because that insecurity is one-way traffic. Every other non-deathly humongous person just feels bad when they look at you. Mommy, why is he built like that? I don't know, sweetie. Just don't be rude to the poor bastard. Just keep walking. And that to me is the absolute worst thing about this whole fat acceptance movement. It's life-altering and life-threatening. It shouldn't be glorified. Yet here goes Western media trying to be inclusive and accepting of everyone. Oh, she's just big boned, plus size. People need to stop being fat shit. Like, no.
I don't really think people say the big bone shit anymore. That was like a fucking 90s thing.
And everyone who doesn't think so is fat phobic. And I kind of feel for some of these people too, because a lot of people who are fat or unattractive gave up on weight loss and improvement in general because not only could they not handle the discipline, but they've convinced themselves they're unattractive before even trying. And yeah, I'll be honest, while you may never become a 10 out of 10, even if you work hard on your physical appearance, you still have a good
Bro, this guy acted like he's a fucking 11 out of 10, bro.
chance to become a 7 or an 8 out of 10, which is 1,000 times better than what you are now, and will give you so much more from life than what you're getting now. And I mean, hey, take this as a little bit of motivation. If you as a beached whale had the strength to be able to sit through this whole video without clicking off, unsubbing, and reporting the channel, you definitely have the willpower to endure a little gym session tomorrow, and then an even longer one the next day. Like, okay, I know I'm really blunt and dickish on this channel when it comes to my opinions, but the truth is, I don't think this positive cucky anti-bully support everyone mindset does very much good at all, because I find all it does is it gives the negative mindsets of the people we're trying to help a leg to stand on and reject any advice, because a person going through hard shit will internalize the fact that they have a disadvantage compared to everyone else, and that fact will stick with them as they try to improve and serve as a deterrent to that improvement. Plus,
why didn't he just say this and then the video would end? Why didn't he start the video with this? What he's saying right now makes sense.
SIBOing them into not trying as hard in whatever they're doing. It's the same logic as these incels justifying the fact that they get no play with the fact that they aren't 6 feet tall with blue hunter eyes, when in actuality they're just weird and scare the women. Like 1 or 2 setbacks does not make you hopeless, bro. Like, I promise you. I believe that if you focus and reinforce someone's ability to improve and give a lot less attention to their copes and hindrances, they will actually focus on improving rather than how their problems will hold them back. And no, I don't.
Okay, yeah, like now he's actually saying like genuine stuff. I mean, he's still not being the best in how he's saying it, but it was better. That was, I mean, it was a good watch. I'll say I disagreed with that motherfucker on a good majority of things. I understand the points that he was making. But how he said those points was the extreme version, right? I actually want to watch these other, I like disagreeing with this guy. I want to watch his other videos another day.